I am Johnny Massacre and welcome to the Johnny Massacre Show. This is the Wednesday Night Massacre. On tonight's show, my opinion about the new Doctor Strange 2 trailer. Who's fucking with me? Give me a hell yeah! So the trailer just came out. It was alright. They didn't show a hell of a lot. It starts off when they say, don't cast a spell. And this is obviously about wizards. Doctor Strange is a wizard. Scarlet Witch is in this. She's that bitch is definitely a wizard. She's a sorceress. And it got me thinking about wizards. Everyone likes wizards because they're relatable. I mean, I could be one too, right? They look just like me, but actually underneath the cowl, they're amazing. They're everyone's fantasy. You want to fly. You want to be better than people. You want to be attractive. That's what fucking wizards are. They were in the original mythology, the first ever mythology, the Iliad, Homer's Odyssey and shit. There were definitely sorcerers in there. And then we modernized the concept of the wizard, following on from the Nordic tales of mythical beasts and sorcerers and stuff, into the superhero, Superman, Wolverine, Scarlet Witch. They are all modern day wizards. So this is basically a story about wizards. The name of the movie is Madness of the Multiverse. The absolute madness, bruv. It's called Doctor Strange 2, The Madness of the Multiverse. And the multiverse means multiple universes. And I don't know exactly what this is, but I think I can guess. In the comics, the storylines became so convoluted that they had to reset them. And so they created the multiverse, multiple universes, which was just a device in order to restart the storyline once they had reached their convoluted and logical conclusions. And now Disney want a piece of this because the superhero movies are their main cash cow. And the multiverse is Disney's cynical attempt to keep their superhero movies going until the day that you die. When the storylines get fucked up, they can rejig them, they can rejuvenate them, they can move characters around, they can bring people back to life because of the multiverse. So they've taken this concept from the comics and now they're instilling it into the Marvel Universe. They've done it with the recent Spider-Man movie. I haven't seen it, but it's very well received, which means the multiverse is here to stay, and they're fleshing out the concept of the multiverse in Doctor Strange 2, which will be released next year in 2022. So now you're going to get Marvel movies for the rest of your life. Once the characters age or whatever, the multiverse says now there's a young one, and they just keep it going. So that's what this is all about, in my opinion. I think it's some cynical ploy by Disney. The enemies in this movie. So Doctor Strange is his own worst enemy. You've heard that idiom, that classic expression, you are your own worst enemy. Our own addictions and failings and personality flaws often result in us being our own worst enemy more than our detractors. Now, that internal struggle is manifested in the form of a physical copy of Doctor Strange in the movie. So I'm going to enjoy seeing this relatable philosophy of being your own worst enemy and internal battle realized on the silver screen when Doctor Strange battles himself. They used to do this in video games, often to save memory because they didn't want to illustrate another antagonist, and so they copied the sprite of your video game character and they just changed the color palette and they made them face off against each other. And who is more terrifying than yourself? If you're a fucking bad man like Doctor Strange, imagine facing yourself, but they know everything about you, and the only way to defeat them is to exploit their strange personality quirks and hubris. It could be quite a good part of the story. The other enemy is Shuma Gorath. He's a very esoteric character. People didn't really know about him until in the mainstream until the mid-90s when Marvel commissioned Japanese video game developer Capcom to cross-pollinate the Marvel brand with their Street Fighter brand. And so Capcom picked out of obscurity a very esoteric Marvel villain from their roster known as Shuma Gorath, a giant dimension-jumping, Omega-level mutant octopus. And now they put him in this film. And I do wonder if the scriptwriters did this in order to appeal to the hardcore fans of these Capcom video games, because the most famous game that contains Doctor Strange 2's antagonist, Shuma Gorath, is Marvel vs. Capcom 2, and those video game fans are rabid. They are, until the casket fans, they are still debating it online. They're still posting memes and stuff. So I feel that whoever created the script for this movie and wrote the script put Shuma Gorath in order to appeal to the hardcore Marvel vs. Capcom 2 fans who idolize characters like Shuma Gorath. They're the ones who are going to make the memes. They're going to help generate the buzz on the underground. And to anyone who hasn't seen him before, well, he's a giant cunting octopus and he just looks cool. So tick all the boxes, all bases covered with Shuma Gorath as one of the antagonists of this movie. What else is in the trailer? That's pretty much it. It looks all right. I don't generally like the color palette and tone and hue of the Marvel verse of Marvel movies. It seems as if a kid has picked up your remote and turned the contrast up to 11. But other than that, it just looks like your regular Marvel movie. I do like Benedict Cumberbatch, who plays the protagonist. He should do very well playing himself in the movie as an evil version, because he was in a movie 12 Years a Slave, and in that he was a benevolent slave master. That's kind of an oxymoron, right? Slave master, evil, benevolent, good. And in this movie, there's a bad and a good version. So he does have experience kind of straddling the dark and the light side and sitting on the fence between the two axes of good and evil. He's also played a bad guy in Star Trek, I think it's called Into Darkness, and he was a very good antagonist in that, even though the movie wasn't that good. So he has experience playing good guys and bad guys, so he's the perfect person to play a good version and a bad version of himself, and that should allow him to really express his range as an actor. So that could be quite decent, and if I see it, that would be the thing I'm looking forward to most. If you're just joining us, I am Johnny Massacre, and we're discussing the new Doctor Strange 2 movie. But if you've been watching from the beginning, stop your grinning and drop your linen. Donate some cash and let's keep winning. Streamlabs.com/Johnny Massacre. The more you donate, the more of these videos you're going to get. What did you think of the Doctor Strange 2 trailer? What do you think of Benedict Cumberbatch? What do you think of the Marvel vs. Capcom video game series? And what did you think of my review? Please let me know in the comments below. I have been Johnny Massacre, and I tell you what, mate, you better be back for the next episode. Otherwise, I will be coming round your house. Please make sure to like and subscribe and hit that notification bell, because that is what all those other cunts tell you to do. Laters.